On a bright morning, Seattle-Tacoma International Airport buzzed with activity. Alaska Airlines Flight 558, a Boeing 737-900ER, was preparing for its journey to San Diego. Passengers boarded, stowed their bags, and settled in. Business travelers, families, vacationers. The flight crew performed their pre-flight rituals, checking systems and reviewing the flight plan. Flight attendants greeted passengers and delivered the safety briefing with calm professionalism. The cabin door closed, the jet bridge pulled away, and the plane began its taxi. Engines roared to life as the aircraft lined up on the runway. With a surge of power, Flight 558 lifted off, climbing over Puget Sound. The city shrank below, the seatbelt sign stayed on, and everything felt routine. For the crew and passengers, it was just another flight, safe, reliable, and uneventful. The pilots monitored their instruments. The attendants reassured passengers, and the journey began. No one suspected that this flight would soon become anything but ordinary. The plane banked south, leaving Seattle behind. Passengers gazed out at the patchwork of green and blue below. The hum of the engines was a familiar comfort. The destination, sunny San Diego, just a few hours away. The flight was one of thousands crossing the country that day. Modern aviation's reliability was on full display. The journey had begun, and everyone expected a smooth ride, or so they thought. At 38,000 feet, Flight 558 settled into a peaceful cruise. The seatbelt sign switched off. Passengers stretched, read, or dozed. Flight attendants rolled out beverage carts, serving drinks with practiced ease. Sunlight streamed through the windows, warming the cabin. The sky outside was a deep blue, clouds far below. In the cockpit, the autopilot kept the plane steady as pilots monitored instruments and checked in with air traffic control. The mood was tranquil, routine, almost forgettable. Each passenger was lost in their own world. A student studying, a couple planning a honeymoon, an elderly woman looking at family photos. The crew moved quietly, ensuring comfort and safety. The aircraft was a self-contained world, gliding smoothly toward its destination. The reliability of flight was taken for granted. For the first hour, everything was perfectly normal. No one imagined the calm would soon be shattered. The promise of a safe journey was about to be tested. The first sign of trouble was a subtle vibration, barely noticeable at first. It grew stronger, a deep shudder from the left side of the plane. Passengers exchanged uneasy glances as the shaking intensified. Suddenly, a loud grinding noise erupted from the left engine. Loose items rattled, drinks spilled, and fear swept through the cabin. The vibration escalated into violent shaking. The noise was deafening. Out the left windows, passengers saw the engine cowling, tearing apart, metal peeling away in the slipstream. The engine's insides were exposed, shaking violently. A terrifying sight. Gasps and cries filled the cabin as the reality of a catastrophic engine failure set in. The calm was gone, replaced by dread and anxiety. Flight attendants moved quickly to secure the cabin, bracing for the worst. Some passengers prayed, others comforted children. The routine flight had become a life-or-death struggle in seconds. The aircraft felt as if it was being torn apart. The crew's training and composure would now be tested to the limit. The passengers clung to hope as chaos reigned. The left engine was failing, everyone knew it. High above the earth, survival was no longer guaranteed. The next moments would decide their fate. In the cockpit, alarms blared and the instrument panel shook. The pilots instantly recognized a left engine failure. The captain took manual control, fighting the plane's yaw as the autopilot disengaged. The first officer worked through the emergency checklist, shut down the damaged engine, secure fuel, and prepare fire suppression. Their communication was calm and precise. No panic, just professionalism. With the engine shut down, the shaking subsided. The plane stabilized on one engine. The captain addressed the cabin, explaining the situation and reassuring passengers. He announced a return to Seattle for an emergency landing. The pilots declared a mayday, gaining priority for landing. Air traffic control cleared the way and prepared emergency services. The immediate crisis was contained, but the hardest part, a single-engine landing, was still ahead. The pilots' skill and training were now the passengers' best hope. The race to bring everyone home safely had begun. The captain's announcement brought relief, but fear lingered. The shredded engine was a grim reminder of the danger. Silence filled the cabin, broken only by quiet sobs and whispered prayers. Strangers offered comfort. A sense of unity emerged. Flight attendants moved with calm authority, checking seatbelts and preparing passengers for an emergency landing. They demonstrated the brace position and offered words of encouragement. Their professionalism kept panic at bay. As the plane began its descent, passengers braced for impact, following every instruction. Thoughts turned to loved ones. Priorities became clear. The shared ordeal created a powerful bond among everyone on board. The descent felt endless, tension mounting with each passing minute. Familiar Seattle landmarks appeared through the windows, a hopeful sign. The airport drew closer. Hope and fear mingled. The final test was moments away. Everyone held their breath, trusting the crew to bring them home. The approach to Seattle-Tacoma demanded every ounce of the pilot's skill. Flying on one engine, they managed airspeed and alignment with precision. Emergency vehicles lined the runway, lights flashing. In the cabin, tension peaked as flight attendants shouted, "Brace! Brace! Brace!" The landing gear dropped with a reassuring clunk. The ground rushed up. The main wheels touched down smoothly. The single engine's reverse thrust and brakes slowed the plane. Relief swept through the cabin. Cheers, applause, and tears erupted. The 737 taxied off the runway, surrounded by emergency crews. The captain thanked passengers and explained the next steps. Firefighters inspected the engine. Mobile stairs arrived. Passengers stepped into the fresh air, glancing back at the wounded plane. The ordeal was over. Everyone was safe. The crew's training and composure had made all the difference. Flight 558's story was now one of survival and resilience. The NTSB launched an immediate investigation. The focus the shattered left engine. Investigators found a fan blade had fractured due to a hidden fatigue crack. The broken blade tore through the engine, causing the cowling to peel away. The failure was traced to a rare manufacturing defect or metal fatigue. The incident led to stricter inspection protocols for engine components. Airlines adopted advanced techniques to detect tiny cracks before they became dangerous. Maintenance schedules were updated industry-wide. Flight 558 became a case study in aviation safety. The aircraft's design, the pilot's training, and the crew's professionalism turned disaster into survival. The system worked as intended, preventing tragedy. For passengers, it was a powerful reminder of the skill and dedication behind every flight. Even in crisis, aviation's safety net held strong.